Hello there YouTube, and welcome to a very late car boot haul video. I have to be quite quiet because this is all being filmed from the inside of my garage and it's quite late at night, so I don't want to wake any of the neighbours. This is one of the car boot haul finds from about, 4 weeks ago. It was before I went off to a festival, so I didn't have a lot of time to film it the day I got back from the car boot sale. It was quite a wet day, and I got most of this as one big job lot. I did buy a couple of other little things that aren't going to be included in the video because they've gone off to where the things I don't keep go. That was a big stack of car magazines that I bought for £2. A couple of bits from this box here, but nothing very exciting really. Because it was wet, we didn't find a lot. We found 2 Pokemon cards. Now unfortunately I forget how much I paid. It would have been 50p or £1 each. I wouldn't have spent a lot of money on random Pokemon cards I don't know anything about. And I bought this Creative and Fairyland DIY bookend. So that's just something for me to mess around with. And then the big haul was all of this. So this came from my friend who we did a big job lot of toys from earlier in the year. He does house clearances. And someone had all these kinds of things. I'm going to try and zoom out with the camera. Hold on 1 second. Let's see how far we can go. Maybe that'll be better. So someone has lovingly created these dioramas. Oh, there's something inside this. Oh well, it's going to stay like that. But it almost looks like you could have this facing either way and it would look like a different building. So that was very nice. This one's obviously meant to be a bombed out sort of building. This one has a first aid sticker on, but it's just the right sort of size for all Dungeons and Dragons. There's all sorts of other little bits, like these lovely little cone-shaped tents, and these more traditional V-shaped tents. There's some sandbags. These I've only just discovered as I was trying to film the video for you guys. I think these are meant to be sleeping bags, maybe. And then you've got these metal pots of fruit and veg, I think. Guessing what's that? That's what it is. Maybe it's clothing. These look like sacks of potatoes. But these are all metal. These are very nice. Also got these barricades of sandbags, almost like trenches. And this big solid scene where it's like a pool or a swamp. These very cool looking huts. This, which is obviously some sort of like stables of some kind. There's nothing really on it, it's just a big open area. This, which is a little bit Arabian Nights looking, it's very nice. And then another similar wall and wall there. Oh, this was the one tin soldier that was in the whole packet, so I guess this is the size he built all this for. It's obviously World War II stuff because they got posters of a very German nature on there. Again, it looks very different from that side than it does there and on the back there, so I'm guessing he built these so they could be sort of like multi-purpose, like you could turn them round and it would give you a different look. You've got these tents and then all these bits of tents. Now I'm not sure how these all go together. There's bits I still haven't unwrapped to those. I've got to figure out how you clip all those together. Or maybe they're just meant to be like shop fronts. Like at the front of a shop like that. I don't know, in all honesty. But there's a lot of those as well. There's a few little things. Tiny little red buckets, like a fireman's bucket. And this tiny little axe. I reckon these are meant to sit with these on top somehow, or maybe it's these bits that go round, I'm not sure. There's this whole box of this wire wool sprayed green to make them look like a hedgerow. These are a bit naff really, these aren't great, but these are much nicer. These are like little bushes that look like flowers. And then this looks like coir, some flooring that someone's just stuck in this. And then this is metal, something that a guard might use outside of a palace or something. And then on top of that, there's all of these trees. So there's about 16 of these. Now some of these have got a bit damaged over the years. This bit of paper in it is what they all came wrapped up in, and it wasn't actually the best way of wrapping them because, as you can see, bits fell off in transport. But these are very nicely made trees. And then there's all of these palm trees. There's about 16 of these of different sizes, and they're so well made. Someone put some real time in. I'm guessing his initials are JGM, and he made them in 1997. But there's about 16 of these very, very beautiful palm trees, and about 16 of these trees. So we've got 32 items there. If you bundle these sorts of things up and just say, oh well, there's, you know, 1 or 2 items there, and count the buildings and everything, and that is like a job lot, then you've almost got 70 items. And when the guy had it laid out, he only had the big bits laid out and a couple of the trees. And he said, because it all went in that one box, he said anything that's in the bottom you can just have because it's mostly rubbish. But actually there was loads of good stuff in the bottom. He wanted 80 quid for the lot. I said 60. We settled on 70 quid, which I don't think for all of this is actually a bad deal. When it works out at like £1 an item, 50p an item sort of thing, I'd happily pay like £5 maybe for these sorts of things. And then the trees, I mean, that's counting them as £1 a piece, and I'd probably pay, you know, more than £1 each for these, in all honesty. So although it seemed like quite a lot of money to be shelling out in one go at the car boot, I think for all the stuff we got and how much use it will be in my D&D games, it was well worth it. So sorry for the late update. Missed another car boot sale at the weekend because of a festival, but we should be back to normal this coming Sunday, and we'll get another car boot haul video up. Thanks guys. Bye.